Right, okay guys, so if you've been watching the channel, you would have seen I'd done a short on something the other day, and I said I was going to do a full unboxing, and that would be for this guy right here. So I just want to have a quick look at the packaging and then we'll get to the unboxing. So one of the things I like about this, I'll just put it in here so we can see it properly, is the attention to detail and the way they've made this look like the original line. This is pretty much bang on what you would have got with the original figures, this packaging. And of course, although we know this figure wasn't in the original toy line, I also like the fact that they make these figures look like the originals, even though they've got a few extra bits like more articulation. Now we're going to have a look at the back now, and as we can see here, we've got some of those points of articulation I was talking about. They're showing you what you can now do with these figures. We've got other figures in the line, and obviously we've got this fantastic artwork as well, which again is something we would have got on the original figures. So that's the packaging looked at, and I really do like this. Now let's get on with the unboxing. Right, so what do we get in the packaging? So first of all, we get this rather nice comic, very reminiscent of the original line of figures. There's the back of it, showing you all the different figures you can get, and as you open it up, it's basically just a mini comic. Definitely like the look of the artwork, and it's very reminiscent of what came out with the original figures. Now I should point out this figure wasn't in the original line. This figure did come out, I believe, in the vintage line, and I'm pretty certain that was for the first time, and now we've got it in the origins. And yeah, so that's the end of that comic. So the story behind this particular figure is that originally this was not released in any of the material until Germany did an audio tape. And that's basically where this character comes from. He came from an audio tape. And then they produced the toy in the vintage line. Pretty certain it was the vintage line. And now we've got it in the origins. And this is a piece of paper you get. And this basically shows you where you can swap out parts. You can swap the heads with other figures, the arms, etc, etc. I'm not going to do that, I've got to be honest, because I want to keep the joints, you know, tight so that it stands on display. I don't want to start pulling them off, weaken them maybe, and then messing that up. So I like to keep that the way that is. But we are going to look at the posability of the figure. So you can see here the head turns. It's got a very good turn on it. I'm going to point out the eyes. I do like the eyes on this figure. So I don't know if you can see that. They're white with like a red outline. I do like the look of that. And then obviously the red along the bands here. Very good. It goes really well with the black. Obviously you got it on the cuffs as well. And then obviously you've got these sort of reddish brownish hair, just to make it look different. And then you've got the same on the trunks and obviously on the feet. But yeah, so basically you've got the rotation of the shoulders. You know, it moves all the way around. You can pull them up slightly, you know, articulate them. Same obviously with the other side. You've got the wrist here as well, which goes, sorry, my hand's in the way a bit there, which will go in and out. And you know, I believe you've also got, yeah, you've got the elbow here as well, which will go all the way out and then back in. It's a little bit tight this actually at the moment, because I've only just took this out of the packaging, so it's actually quite stiff at the moment. But I prefer them like that, because when you put them on display, they stay where you put them, you know. And then obviously you've got the waist action, which you would have had on the original. You would have had the waist, but the arms were obviously static on the original. You couldn't adjust the wrist and the elbow, just the shoulders, you know, round, and that was it. And the head would only have gone side to side, but obviously with this one you can move it up and down and side to side. So it's kind of, it's on a ball joint, so you can actually move that quite a lot. And then obviously we've got the legs, which you can, yeah, see, these are a lot better. You can pull them right out. Before they were on like a kind of rubber band like thing. You've got, let's turn him on his side. You've got a knee joint now, which bends the knee back, and then obviously forwards. So you got a bit of range of motion there. It's quite good. And also you can swivel at the, I suppose that's his shin, it's not really his ankle, is it? So you can actually swivel round on the shin, and then you've got the foot which goes up and down, and you've got a bit of movement. Is it just up and down? Yeah, it's just up and down on the actual foot. There's not a massive amount of movement on that, I've got to be honest. So yeah, what I like about these figures is obviously you can articulate them a lot more than the originals. And I'm actually trying to get him to stand back up again now. Now I've played with him, he don't want to stand. There we go. So you can obviously pose them a lot better than you could the originals. And as a point of that, they actually stand better, because sometimes you might have originally, with the original series, you might have got one that was just slightly out, and no matter how you try and stand him, he'd fall over no matter what. And the other problem you used to have was sometimes you put the weapons on them and maybe the weapons were heavy and that would knock them over. Now the good thing with this is that if you get that problem, you just lean him back a little bit and he stands there. You wouldn't have been able to do that with the originals. So that's another thing I like about it. So obviously we've got the weapons that come with it. So in this case we've got the shield with a nice grip, and then this bit that clips on the forearm, and that part slides over the hand. Then you've got the sword, and what I like about these swords is that it's both sides. With the originals you only had that sort of pattern on one side of it. I prefer the handle, and it hasn't got that loopy bit that goes on it, which I prefer. I do actually prefer this look for it. And then you've got the axe, and I actually like the axe too. It's a little bit plainer. It hasn't got all the, I don't know if you can see that. Let's see if we can get that. It hasn't got all the grooves down the handle, which I actually prefer. I think this looks much better. So yeah. So I'm going to put all the weapons on him and have a look at him. Fully posed, and see what we think. So here we have a final look at the Anti-Eternia He Man Origins figure. And I have to say, I really like the look of this figure. The colour changes, the way that they've done the black with the red, I think works really well. Even the weapons, I mean, the sword looks very reminiscent of the original line. The axe, I like the axe as well. It's slightly different looking, I think, to the He-Man figures one. And I like the way they've done the eyes as well. You've got the white eyes with the red surround, like it's just a slight red outline around the eyes. It just makes him look that bit more evil. So yeah, I really like this figure. So I'm glad I've got this in the collection. And if you've enjoyed this video, guys, I'm hoping to do a few more of these, because I've got a couple of other Origin figures. So yeah. So I hope to see you on the channel next time.